Alrighty, welcome back to the channel, Techado again. This video was totally about to be about some other topic, but man, you just cannot, like forget this date, which is 12th or 11th of, of May, and it's just like unbelievable that this something like this can happen in 2022. And hence I was always saying this from like 3 or 4 months, actually since Feb, when the PGX and all that started happening, and it was dipping, and I was seeing a lot of markets dipping also. It is just unimaginably dumb not to think that major conflicts will not touch crypto. This is just unimaginably dumb that this is probably the most volatile year to be in any sort of crypto assets. When stocks do not do good, your crypto assets, digital assets will not do good. I've been saying this for the last 5 months. For some reason, my YouTube videos are so long that people lose, like concentration. But if you watch it with some sort of concentration, you will see the stuff that is happening or happened today with Terra being one of the most stable coins out there. I was planning to buy Terra Luna maybe like last week or 2 weeks before, and I was like, darn it, I should have got some Terra Luna. And I was going through their tokenomics. Their corp tokenomics was solid, and it was a very visionary project, but darn it, it happened again. So I did some search. So there is a couple of theories that is adjusting to why did this a stable coin like Terra Luna, can crash. Like, what is the reason behind it? So at first, let's go ahead and check for the price today, the way this thing happened. Yesterday night, while we were streaming, we are trying to raise some funds again for PegXC and the PegXC community. We saw this and we are like, okay, it's a perfect time to dive in. And with this dip, we could make a little bit of more money out of here, because like when you are buying in this dip and selling this at this, that's a huge percentage, and one of our friends actually did it. So I mean, it happened so early in the morning that I was not able to take any sort of profit out of it. But for us, it was like 6 in the morning. But one of our friends did, made mad banks, and got out of it. But those are like for shorting or anything. I'm not talking about short term. I'm talking about long term, and how come a stable coin like Terra Luna goes completely to a position where they have literally halted their any sort of trading. Now, will it come back up again? We do not know. What is going on? We do not know. But there are some facts that are hidden. So before we jump in, this was the current price. I think the last time I saw was 0005, like 4 zeros and 5. It was sitting at, which was unimaginable. And in trading view, this was the last thing that they gave, but this is not the last chart where it was stuck into. It was at 0.005 in trading view. So this whole picture is not that correct to the time they stopped. They actually stopped 2 hours back. So I went to their Twitter trying to discover what's happening. So Do Kwon, who is the like the maker, the co-founder of this stable coin, he did send like a 9-page tweet about why and what they're planning to do, how they're planning to increase this and all that stuff. But I'm like, hold on a second. How can a stable coin crash in a matter of a day like this? Like, you cannot. I'm not talking about VIS or PGX. Okay, forget VIS and PGX. VIS and PGX literally doesn't even exist compared to these big coins in their tier 1 exchanges, which is the highest form of exchange. So interestingly, we did find a small Reddit kind of a thing where the attack was actually explained. Apparently, so we do not know about this, but this is a fact that was put up there. We'll see what the Verge says. So at first they said BlackRock and Citadel borrowed 100,000 Bitcoin from Gemini. It appears to their loan book. They swapped $25,000 of that Bitcoin into USD. This was all done quietly in anticipation of the attack. When the time was right, they called up Do Kwon at Terra Foundation and said that they want to sell a lot of Bitcoin for USD. As it was a large trade, they told him they didn't want to move the market and asked if he would like to buy their large block of Bitcoin at a discount for USD. Now, Do Kwon took the bait and he gave them a huge chunk of USD, thus lowering USD liquidity significantly. So remember this liquidity always matters a lot, and hence where, you know, like when we were talking about Vish's liquidity, I was urging everybody for that liquidity pool. Once that liquidity pool gets hit, this is how stuff actually crashes. At that point, BlackRock Citadel dumped all of the Bitcoin and USD, causing a massive slippage and triggering a cascade of forced selling in both assets. Now, the real problem was BlackRock and Citadel knew that that Anchor, which holds a lot of Luna, was a Ponzi scheme. They offer 20% staking API, for Christ's sake. And this crash would trigger more withdrawals than Anchor can repay. So these forced withdrawals and selling would trigger a massive sell-off in Luna, thus breaking the $1 peg and wrecking the market further. BlackRock and Citadel can now buy Bitcoin back cheaply to repay the loan and pocket the difference. Meanwhile, billions of longs and Bitcoin VARs were wiped out. This was pure market manipulation. Makes total sense, but how is it? Is it true or not? Well, props to Verge. Verge actually did this. Okay, so this is from Verge, from actually Forbes, not even Verge. I was telling Verge all the time. So this was Forbes. So they reached out. The editor out there wrote this report, which is BlackRock and Citadel denying trading cratering stablecoin. So asset manager BlackRock and hedge fund giant Citadel Securities have denied trading troubled Terra USD in separate emails sent exclusively to Forbes. The comments come on the back of rapidly spreading rumors that the financial giants had jointly borrowed 100,000 Bitcoins, which is $3 billion at total price, from cryptocurrency exchange Gemini to purchase USD, only to dump the assets, causing the market to collapse and wiping out more than $25 billion in the underlying Luna market value. Following on a tweet the Gemini posted earlier, which denied 100,000 Bitcoin loan to any large institution, counterparties, a Citadel source familiar with the allegation confirmed that the company does not trade stable coins, including USD. Well, rumors are that the BlackRock had a role in the collapse of USD are categorically false, according to both parties denying that this was totally a rumor. So this is one end of what might be happening, what might not be happening. So this post was actually explained because everybody was thinking this, that how is it possible that in a day it crashes. So this is one of the rumors that's going on. As far as the community thing goes, hold on a second. I actually had posted. Okay, so you can go ahead and follow Do Kwon at Stablecoin to get like updates of what's going on. Also, you can go and follow Terra Money, which is in this website. You can see what's going on more or less some of the time. Trades have not opened. It has passed 3 hours. Last time I think the trade was open was trade was closed was like 8 or 9 hours back. It was closed. So keep an eye on that. Once the trade opens, things will skyrocket again, and if you're lucky enough, you'll get your stuff back. I mean, at this point, it's just unimaginable. Reminds me of one of those days, guys. I don't know how good your memory is, but remember that time when just after Bitcoin there was a massive scheme, a massive Ponzi scheme that was going on, and it was called OneCoin. Back in those days, that OneCoin, it was done by this girl. She was the leader of this. Her name was Crypto Queen. I was some Ignatova or something like that. I think she was a Bulgarian. I remember that scheme because that was all over. It was all over the news. I personally knew people that were heavily invested on this OneCoin, and in a day, like this, like a snap, like Thanos, things just gets deleted. That's actually how it happens. That's exactly how things happen in a massive Ponzi setup. Takes me back to those days. Now, here is one thing you guys need to know. Whenever you are comparing cryptocurrency or anything, and whenever you're watching into cryptocurrency, there's a way to analyze before you jump in and purchase anything. There's a way to analyze, and that's called fear and greed index. Well, this is not very big of an indicator, but it's a very common indicator that's made by CNN for stocks. So in stocks, fear and greed index stands like this. So right now, as of this moment, even if I do a refresh, you might think that things have changed, but even if I do a refresh, you would see that in stocks also there is an extreme fear. Now all of these stock markets, crypto markets, they're all related to each other. Remember this, it's the same people that keep on moving money around. They are not people from different planets, so they're just moving around their money. So if there is extreme fear in your stock markets, there has to be extreme fear in crypto markets. Now there is a good and bad thing about this two extreme part of fear and greed. Usually whenever this fear meter goes down to 0, there's an inversion that comes in, which means there is a sudden, buying pressure comes in. When it goes to extreme greed and it reaches that high meter around about like 75 to 100, there's an extreme decline that happens, which is more selling pressure comes in. So usually whenever something like this happens, there is a trigger event that will skyrocket everything. So we are right in that phase where people have lost millions, but there is millions to be made. That's what this index usually gives you, like a thing, actually gives you a thing about the, this actually shows you. So, and this fear and greed index, this whole index is based on volatility, market momentum, and market volume, the amount of social media roar that's going on. It also depends upon Google Trends, and it also depends upon Bitcoin dominance. So if we are comparing Terra, and if we are comparing Terra prices, let's see Bitcoin's price today. So Bitcoin's price today. So Bitcoin was right out here, and it has an uptick right now. It's actually going high, reaching its all-time high at 30,000, which is very crazy because in 7 day, interesting. You saw the 11th when it was dropping, and literally from today onwards, when Terra crashed, Bitcoin started climbing up. Let's see what's trends with Ethereum. Even Ethereum is up. It's so funny. Literally yesterday, Terra crashes at 11, it goes down, and while Terra has stopped its volume, Ethereum is going back up again. So remember this extreme fear does trigger it does trigger a wave of like purchases, because that actually reverts the psychology of people buying and selling. Last but not the least, do remember about these sort of dates like 12th of May, what happened to Terra, Ponzi schemes like OneCoin, that will help you from like any sort of emotional emotional strength, or I know that because all you need is in this sort of scenario is emotional strength. There is literally no certainty of what's going to happen once you lose that amount of money. Remember this, it's always easy to spend money, but it's super hard to earn money. So be careful with all that stuff that you do on the crypto markets and other markets. Anyways, that is all from the channel Techado. My hearts and my feeling goes to those of them, and my prayers to those goes to them, those who have invested on Terra. Please go ahead and follow their Twitter. Go ahead and follow on the updates. Keep an eye whether they are going to be back on exchanges or not, whether they are going to start trading in exchanges or not. If they come back, you have to hit that thing in the right moment and the right time. And last step, which I do want to remember all of my followers out there, is that remember, my job is to talk about different sort of data, stats and everything. This has nothing to do with promotion of certain sort of coins. Okay, it's not here to promote or anything. So that will be all from the channel Techado. And there is one stuff we forgot to talk about in the before we leave actually today, is to see what's our Google Trend search on cryptocurrency today. In cryptocurrency, so we do see it's written out here, Luna cryptovaluta. Cryptovaluta means that it's crypto in Russian. eToro, because that's where people were buying today. Terra also. You can actually check this using past hour, past day, and past 4 hours. This actually is a very good metrics which I used in my YouTube SEO also. This is also a very good metrics in checking what the world is more or less thinking, and what are people typing in to search, and what are they trying to analyze. So this is a very good way of checking out stuff. Do not forget, this is Google Trends. So if you want to search probably BTC, you can see how much interest is there in BTC. Italy, Singapore, Ireland, Ukraine, UK. Tether, USD, BTC, Turk, Luna, Tether, and everywhere. So yeah, you will see these are BTC's interest, to be honest. And you can verify which regions have got more interest. And most of my YouTube videos, they are based upon all this stuff. So this is a good way of finding Google Trends. Go ahead and find your trends. These trends will allow you to gives you an edge to decide what's your next investment might be, and what are people thinking about stuff and all that stuff. So yeah, that is all from the channel Techado. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. Share this video to all of them. My prayers always lie with those people, those who have lost a lot of money investing on Terra. I know personally a lot of people that actually, not a lot, actually 1 or 2 people that have made a lot of money just by buying on the dip, cashing out on the, not on the high, but it's certain amount of rise, could have cashed out a thing. I was sleeping at that time for some reason. Otherwise, there was an easy 20-30K which was flying around. Couldn't just catch it or something like that. But be aware, be careful in these markets, because markets do not care for you. You have to remember this. Your money, your asset, spend it according to your pocket. Do not take loans. Do not take loans from here and there. You're not going to be rich, and you're not going to be buying freaking Lambo in a day or so. For that, it's going to take some time. Spend according to your pocket, step by step. Take it as an alternate way of making some sort of money. Only then you'll have peace of mind. Otherwise, you are in that risk sphere where you're playing super risky, and when there's a risk involved, things can go haywire. So that's all from the channel. I'm out. Good night. Take care. Stay safe. Stay sane.